Hello, my name is Gulsima Young, and I am a student with the program on the environment. The title of my capstone is Emphasizing Impact, Exploring Effective Project Reporting Strategies for Grant-Funded Sustainability Initiatives. I conducted my capstone with the Campus Sustainability Fund at UW. My site supervisor was Tatiana Brown, and my faculty advisor was Kyle McDermott. Through my research, I learned that grant-funded efforts are integral to tackling climate change and addressing environmental injustice, yet it is difficult to measure the impact of these interdisciplinary projects. Thus, project reporting must be conducted in order to gauge impact, progress, and support needed. The Campus Sustainability Fund is a student-run grant program at UW whose mission is to promote resilience, equity, and justice-centered sustainability on campus. Since 2010, the CSF has funded nearly $4 million in interdisciplinary student projects. Here in Figure 1, you can see the breakdown of those $4 million since 2010. The CSF's quarterly reporting process is used as a case study in this research to investigate how to improve project impact measurement. My main research question was, how can project reporting processes be improved to more effectively communicate the impact of interdisciplinary grant-funded sustainability initiatives? For my internship, I worked as the product development specialist at the CSF. I worked to foster strong and communicative relationships with funded projects, keep consistent project records, and strengthen the growing network of sustainability efforts on campus. For my research, I investigated how project reporting can be utilized to provide holistic insight into impact and progress through conducting stakeholders interviews with two key groups. The first group was CSF-funded project teams that have completed this quarterly metrics collection process at least twice. The second stakeholder group was sustainability-focused grant organizations at other universities. I developed recommendations for improving the CSF's project reporting process using data from stakeholder interviews. My first recommendation is dedicate time to building support for the existing reporting process instead of building a new process. Interviews with current teams revealed little to no challenges with the functionality of the reporting system. Instead, critiques focused on how different components of the form could be improved. The second recommendation is to implement a more structured schedule for project check-ins. Creating a built-in structure for check-ins would prevent outdated and irrelevant metrics from lingering on reporting forms and would enable the CSF to provide the project team with support needed to complete the project reporting process on time. The third recommendation is to explore additional routes for project categorization and metric development. Interviews with current projects identified limitations associated with the CSF's current planning phase and post-implementation phase categories, especially for projects that don't have a defined planning and implementation progression within their structure. The last recommendation is to assess supplementary, creatively focused routes for reporting project impact. Findings indicated the importance of acknowledging the limitations of applying a structured, systematic evaluation mechanism to cross-disciplinary projects that deeply engage with a variety of groups, stakeholders, and ideas. Recommendations from this research will enable the CSF and other grant organizations to improve their existing reporting processes, which will enable teams to more holistically convey their impact to their funders. It will also allow them to support interdisciplinary projects. Currently, CSF-funded projects span across 12 different funding categories, as you can see here in Figure 2. The largest categories are biodiversity and living systems, transportation, clean energy, food systems, education, and waste. It will also allow the CSF and other grant organizations to foster strong, more communicative relationships with funded project teams and more broadly communicate sustainability efforts, which is essential to increasing access and engagement for communities that have been historically excluded from the environmental movement. It will also allow them to maintain and expand funding opportunities, and lastly, provide the necessary support for intersectional sustainability initiatives through sustaining a larger, more diverse array of projects and programs. I'd like to acknowledge the interview participants, my capstone peers, and the CSF team, Tatiana Brown, Kyle McDermott, and Court Maeda, for all their contributions throughout this process. Thank you.